It's like every time I eat junk food, it's like putting diesel in a sports car. It might run, but it's not running well. Now, hey there, Coach Devin here. We have all heard the old saying that goes, nothing tastes as good as fit feels. A lot of people disagree with that. They're like, oh, no, Devin, that's not the case. I like my junk food. And you know what? I'm kind of on board with you. I like junk food nights. I'm on board with it. I've said it many times. I have movie night on Friday nights with my kids. We eat junk food, usually pizza or something along those lines. We watch movies, have chips, all that stuff. But the thing that amazes me, and I talk to clients about every single day, is you don't know how good you can feel until you try eating better. Now, let's be clear. Food is like medicine. If you eat something that is good for you, you're going to feel different than if you eat something that's bad for you. We all know this. It's not rocket science, right? If you eat healthy food, you're eating vegetables and lean cuts of meat or whatever, you're going to feel a lot different than if you're eating McDonald's. That's a fact. But what you don't realize is how good you can feel. A lot of people get confused by this because on a regular basis, you just feel the way you feel. We all know at least one, or maybe you're that person who's a smoker. And you smoked for a long time. And they feel, the way they feel is the way they feel, right? Feel pretty good some days they don't feel so good, just like all of us. And then they quit smoking. And when they quit smoking, they're like, wow, I quit smoking, I feel way different. I feel great. What happened? I can't get over this. I felt awful before. That's because they didn't know how good they could feel, because whatever you're used to is the norm. If you're, every day you get up and somebody gives you hell, or somebody's, verbally abusive or physically abusive to you, you'll get used to that over time, right? And then after a while, then if you leave that relationship, you'll look back and go, what the hell was I thinking? And lots of us have said, well, why would that person stay with someone when they're verbally or emotionally or mentally or physically abusive? Why would they do that? Because they're used to it. And when you're used to it, and after a while, things progress to a point that you just think that's normal. The same thing, and I mean, it's a bit of a weird analogy there, and obviously nowhere near as serious, but the same type of thing happens when you are eating healthy as compared to eating junk food. If you're just eating like an average person, and this is what I eat, I tend to eat this food, and it's all fine and good, this is what I do, right? I eat some junk food sometimes, I don't eat really well. You pretty much feel good some days and bad some days, right? It's just like the rest of us. Nothing really changes with it, you just feel like that's how you feel. It's totally cool. You're like, oh yeah, some days I feel good. I feel pretty good today. Got some energy. Yesterday, not as much energy. No big deal. What's funny about that, though, is until you eat healthy food for a sustained amount of time, I'm not talking 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 2 years. I'm talking give us 4 or 5 days. 4 or 5 days of healthy food, you'll be like, I feel pretty damn good. I have a lot of energy. I feel great today. And people often say to me, Devin, you have a lot of energy. I tend to be kind of a high energy guy. And I'm like, well, that's because I eat pretty healthy and I exercise. But what you don't know is how good you can feel. Because if you give me 5 days of eating healthy, 5 days of eating healthy and exercising, and I don't mean crippling yourself, I mean just doing some physical stuff, you will feel good. Then, this is when the rubber hits the road, and when you really realize what's going on, then go out and eat pizza or whatever your junk food of choice is. Our office manager, Beth, was just saying yesterday, that she had some junk food, and she's like, I felt terrible. She goes, I wanted to have it, I had it, and right away I felt terrible. My stomach hurt, I felt like death. She came into work, she's like, I don't have a lot of energy, I don't feel very good, I almost feel like I have the flu, I just feel bad, my stomach hurts. And I'm like, well, what'd you eat? And she's like, well, I had some junk last night because I really wanted it. And I was like, and there's your answer. Because she's been working very hard, because we've got Project Fit Beth going on, and she wants to get more healthy. She's pretty fit as it is. She wants to be more healthy. So she's been eating very carefully. She's been staying on top of the calories she's eating. She's eating more protein. She's really paying attention to what she's doing. And she hasn't been really deviating from that. She's really been pushing herself the entire time to make sure she's going to be more healthy. She's going to feel better. But then as soon as she had the junk food, then she felt terrible. And I said to her, what's interesting about that situation is that's the way you felt all the time before. You just didn't know it. Lots of times you think, oh, I feel normal. This is the norm for me. Just like that smoker. This is the norm for them. It's normal. It's okay. This is who I am. And then you Stop smoking. Then you eat healthy. Then you realize when you actually do it again how awful it felt before. You can't know, and I've said this to a million clients, well, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but a lot of clients over the years, I've said you can't know how good you are going to feel until you've tried it. I can't tell you. I can tell you right now. You will feel very different. And you'll say, okay, yeah, that makes kind of sense. I guess I feel kind of different. Sure. But you won't realize how good you actually can feel until you actually do it. You have to actually do it. Eat healthy. Give me 5 days of eating healthy and exercising for 5 days. Then go eat your normal junk food meal and you will feel terrible. That's the way you feel right now. Your body is telling you something. And it's saying, stop poisoning me. Just like I said at the beginning of this, food is like medicine, right? If you take medicine every day, and a whole lot of medicine every day, it's not good for you, right? If you have healthy medicine, if you're having vitamins or whatever it happens to be, whatever you're ingesting, that's what you're going to get back. Here's a good analogy. I had a client that said it was like every time I eat junk food, it's like putting diesel in a sports car. It might run, but it's not running well. Now, for those of you who don't understand, and I don't know a lot about cars personally, but if you put diesel in a sports car, it will start, but it will just go. It's not going to be good. It's bad all around. Don't put diesel in a sports car. That's not something we want to do. This is along those same lines. You do not want to push yourself into those situations. So try eating healthy, try exercising, and you'll be amazed at how much better you can feel and how much better you will feel. Just give it a try. If you have comments, questions, things you want me to talk about, write them up down below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you've tried eating healthy and then you're like, wow, I feel totally different, tell me about it. I love those stories. That's one of my favorite things. Have yourself an amazing day, everybody. Don't fight the odds.